Most people don't know this. Superman once had rainbow powers that gave him complete random new abilities. He used super ventriloquism to throw his voice across cities. Superman could erase memories with just a kiss. He rebuilt the Great Wall of China once just to flex his abilities. His symbol wasn't always an S. At one time, it didn't represent anything. Early Superman couldn't even fly. He could only leap tall buildings. He once sneezed and destroyed an entire solar system. Superman had a power where he could reshape his face at will. He casually kept miniature cities like Kandor on display. Superman once juggled planets like they were baseballs. He had super hypnosis, could brainwash people into forgetting things. He also used super weaving vision to literally repair fabric instantly. Superman could shoot amnesia beams from his eyes. Ooh. He once created a super Superman that lived independently. Superman could rebuild entire cities overnight with precision. He also used super mathematics to predict the future. He also turned invisible one time by vibrating his body very fast. He could project a giant hologram of himself to scare off his enemies. Superman once ate coal and turned them into diamonds instantly. He used super art skills to sculpt statues in seconds. Superman once blew out a star like it was a candle. He could hear sounds from across the galaxy. He used super breath to freeze oceans solid. Superman could whistle so precisely it carried miles without anyone else hearing it. He once stopped a tidal wave by flying into it repeatedly until it lost momentum. Superman had super fingerprint control and could leave them or remove them at will. He could hear his own heartbeat across space and use it to stay oriented. He once heated metal from a distance, just enough to reshape it without melting it. He could create mini sonic booms on command without destroying surroundings. Superman used microvision to read text smaller than a grain of sand. He once stabilized a falling bridge by adjusting tension point by point at super speed. He could slow his own perception of time so everything around him felt frozen. He once used super knot tying so no one could untie the knot. He could compress air into solid objects so that he could use them as tools. He once projected his thoughts directly into someone else's mind across space. He had super throwing accuracy, so perfect he could hit a target he couldn't even see. Ooh. Superman could learn a language just by hearing it once. He once spun fast enough to make a barrier that blocked radiation. Once, he used super breath to create perfectly sculptured ice sculptures. He could balance on a single molecule without falling. Superman once contained an explosion by wrapping it in compressed air. He had super typing speed and could write books within seconds. Superman could hear radio signals and decode them in his head instantly. He once held two tectonic plates together to stop an earthquake. Ooh, wow. Superman could focus his vision to see through time-delayed light from distant stars. He used super memory to recreate blueprints just from a glance. Superman could control the direction of his heat vision mid-beam like a whip. He once created a vacuum around himself to extinguish many fires. He had perfect pitch hearing and could detect lies by voice vibrations. Ooh. He could calculate complex physics in real time while flying at full speed. He once redirected a meteor shower by nudging each rock individually. He could shatter steel without touching it by vibrating the air around it. Superman used super precision to stack objects perfectly at atomic alignment. He once flew in tight circles to generate artificial gravity in space. Superman could track down anyone by the sound of their heartbeat. He had super articulation that allowed him to mimic any accent flawlessly. Superman once created a shockwave by clapping that leveled structures. He could focus his breath into a cutting force strong enough to slice metal. Once, he used super speed to clean an entire city before anyone noticed. He once redirected lightning mid-strike using his body as a conductor. Superman could see energy structures, not just physical objects. He had super balance, which made it impossible to knock him off his feet. Superman once absorbed enough solar energy to glow like a miniature sun. He could hear sounds before they actually reached him. He used super coordination to catch multiple objects falling at once. He once held back a collapsing tunnel by supporting every weak point at once. Superman could detect invisible beings by sensing disturbances in the air. He had super dexterity, allowing him to assemble machines instantly. Superman once created a wind tunnel by flying past at high speed. He could focus his hearing to isolate a single voice in a crowded planet. Superman used super speed to swap objects so fast it looked like teleportation. Let that sink in.